This is the KMAX Sports Network.
And I've been mispronouncing that. I've been calling it Maggiores. But I asked the staff here, and they confirmed it is Majores. It's our first time to set up here. It's very near the intersection of Cypress Creek Road and La Caline, in the same strip center that Randall's is in. We'll be here for the next hour and a half if you want to come on down and sit with us out on the porch. Joining me as always here on Timberwolf Night in America, or our shorthand moniker for it, TNIA, the king of laces out, the donut hole, the wonderful Willard of Oz, a professor at the College of Football Knowledge. There ain't no bolder holder than the beast of hype, that chicken-licking lifetime Timberwolf, Josh Willard.
It feels good to be back in the saddle. Thank you so much, Brad, for that suave intro. Oh, it feels good to be back in football season.
I'll send you an invoice for it.
That's right. I've copied that nickname, by the way, on all my social media. You can get at me at Willard of Oz.
You can mail me the royalty
That's a
check.
hell of a nickname, I'm just saying.
And the great Les Clary is our quality assurance agent tonight, monitoring the broadcast from the high-tech KMAX Sports Studios. Some special guests tonight. The defensive backs. We'll be talking with 5 defensive backs and one of their coaches, Brian Pollard. In a little while, with us tonight are Timberwolves Strider Laster, Keon King, Caden Combs, Tamara Alzer, Cole Holland. Our Cedar Park football fan base turns over roughly 25% of its content every year as the seniors graduate out the top of the program. The freshman families come in from the bottom. So for a lot of you, this is your first time sampling this show. Let me describe what it is. Timberwolf Night in America is what we call an hour and a half of nonstop honking of the Cedar Park football horn. Over the course of this season, we'll have about 75% of the players on the varsity roster appear as guests on this show. Of course, 100% are invited, but sometimes the guy just can't make it. We don't have all the DBs here tonight.
Got to study.
Yep.
Sometimes grades.
Yeah, maybe they just don't like me. I don't know. We'll also have each and every coach come aboard, those that can make it. You'll get a terrific chance to get to know all of these guys. Plus, we recap the previous week's game, hit some detailed stats, preview the next game, and throw in a bunch of other special features, including some fun trivia games with the players and coaches. You all are more than welcome to come on and sit in with us live each Tuesday night. Now, tonight, again, we're at Majores. Kind of Majores, yeah.
You're going to get used to it. It takes a little practice.
As I was telling Tamara a little bit ago, it's majority without the t. Majores.
There you go.
Majores, yeah.
Whatever helps you.
Yeah, whatever helps you get to that. We're going to be here or Moutons, and it just so happens that we alternate through the regular season, and that's only just so happening because the real deal is we are here at Majores on Tuesday nights the week of away games. We're at Moutons on Tuesday nights the week of home games, and it just so happens that our schedule alternates home and away. So that's what's going to happen. We're going to alternate. Next week we'll be back over at Moutons a week from tonight prior to our home game against San Angelo Central. All right, now first off the bat, a couple of important items. Craig, I should have told you, Craig Weems is here, our number one fan, as he is every week. You can take a walk, get something to eat, whatever. The first 35 minutes of this you heard last week. Our show didn't get transmitted last week, so we're repeating our first show of the season. Luckily, we didn't have any guests. It was just us warming up for the season, so we're going to do some of that here tonight. So, as I said, first off the bat, a couple of important items. KMAX Sports over the summer was bought out by an organization called Vype. Now, to you, the fans, nothing really changes yet. You'll still go to the same KMAX Sports website to listen to the broadcast of the games and of TNIA, just as you've done tonight. The only noticeable difference is when we go to breaks or sign off, we don't just identify as KMAX Sports anymore, but something like KMAX Sports and the Vype Network. Vype, that's capital V, capital Y, capital P, capital E. They're based in Houston. They also have some specific commercial spots they'll require us to play during games, so that's certainly no big deal. Something this allows Chuck Licata and Merle Bertrand at KMAX Sports to do is get a little cash infusion to upgrade our hardware and software a bit. We also will be paying for better throughput on the data pipe we use to stream the game. So overall, it's a good development for everyone. The video quality of the game broadcast is going to be better. Now, one bad aspect of it is the demise of our former streaming partner, the Cube. And there was an agreement in place at about the beginning of 2018 that the Cube was going to go dark when the school year ended. Thus, all baseball games would still get broadcast. Well, they reneged on that, and about 2 months early, during our broadcast of one of the biggest baseball games of the spring against Georgetown, they went down. Most of that game never went to broadcast. They killed us when we were in about the middle of the second inning. Now, during the next few days and before the next game, Merle and Chuck, Suna Venkat, scrambled to find a temporary methodology, and they did so, and the rest of the baseball broadcast season went off without a hitch. This affected not just our Cedar Park broadcast, but about 23 other teams that use KMAX Sports as well. Perhaps the most unfortunate aspect of the Cube not living up to their end of the deal is that KMAC didn't get the time they thought they were going to get to offload all of their archived content in an orderly fashion. They did get a chance to quickly go out and grab all the files, but they're not organized in a logical manner, all kinds of weird file names. So what that means is that at the moment, if you want to, say, go back and listen to or watch any of our earlier broadcasts all the way back to 2008, they're not there right now. Again, KMAX Sports has those files, but it's going to be an arduous effort through this rest of this year to sift through all the meaningless file names and figure out, for example, which of the hundreds of broadcasts they have are our 16 football games from the 2012 state title run or whatever. Now, they'll eventually be put back in pace, but it's going to take a little bit of time. Next important housekeeping issue before we get started. Oh, I already hit this actually by talking about Moutons and Majoris being our two switch-out hosts. So that got ahead of myself there. But anyway, now our crew's been together for a long time. Far longer, it turns out, than any other crew at KMAX Sports. Josh here has been calling games with me beginning in the, was it 2012 was the first season?
2011 I helped out. Come on now. Come on now. You got to give me credit where credit's due.
Okay. And we had this really weird reality in 2013 when Joe Willis wanted to try something different, and we left KMAX Sports that 1 year. It was quite unsuccessful. The program went back to KMAC in 2014. So this 2018 season will be then the 8th for Josh and I working together to bring you Timberwolf football. Cecil Kokenauer, our producer for game nights, he came aboard for the 2012 season, and except for that weird 2013 experiment, he's been part of the crew ever since. So 2018 is his 5th year on the crew. Carl Vadi had been our cameraman for 4 years, but stepped aside prior to last season. Nathan Boschelt took up the position. Nathan is back with us again here in 2018 for his 2nd season on the crew. Now, since we have a certain amount of fan turnover every year, and every other year we take time near the beginning of the first TNI broadcast and tell you some details about ourselves so you know who we are, who you've entrusted your broadcast of your football program to, where we came from, what our background is, and so forth. And we're going to hit these topics: where we were born, our age, where we went to the various levels of schooling we may have achieved, our families, our actual real professions, some dreams we've had for our lives, our best accomplishments in sports, our best moments in broadcasting or journalism. So first, the story of one Josh U.A. Willard.
I mean, that's a lot to get into, but, I mean, kind of keeping it short and brief. I'm from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Okay, thanks, Josh.
Hey! I mean,
no, you don't have to be short and brief.
I'll tell you a little bit.
We budgeted space for this. Go ahead and talk about yourself.
That's right. From Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I'm a Tar Heel through and through. All about the Tar Heels. My father went to North Carolina State, so a lot of bad blood in the family immediately. But my family, we moved to Cedar Park back in 2000, and it was because of business. My father has a Krispy Kreme franchise, so we brought Krispy Kreme out to Texas.
Thank you very much.
I know, and you know, a lot of my friends are very thankful for that, and I was always present with donuts at my classes every Friday. I would bring donuts to class from elementary all the way through high school, and I guess it was my dad's mischievous way of marketing, but hey, it works because everybody in my class really loved the donuts. So that's kind of where the donut hole came from because I had 2 older brothers come through the program like the Owsers. You got a lot of brothers. I was the youngest of all of them, and so donut was already taken. So Coach Ross said, I guess we'll call you Donut Hole. So it stuck. So I was called Donut Hole for my whole high school career. But that's okay. Besides that, I played slot on varsity. I was also a track runner. I was varsity in triple jump before brutally snapping my kneecap in the district track meet my senior year.
Brutally?
Yeah, it was pretty bad on the triple jump.
Yeah.
But I mean, athletically, it was such a fun ride because I was a part of that 2010 team that had so much talent, and we had everything going for us in the right direction, but injuries, and that's just kind of like the last thing you think of in football is what really got our team, and we lost our starting quarterback in the second round against Smithson Valley, and then battled back in that incredible series against Lake Travis that we had where we beat them in the regular season to get the district championship and then losing by 1 with our third string.
Too soon.
It's still too soon. But my claim to fame, obviously, on the team, I mean, I was a slot, but it's weird. I got a kick out of holding field goals and extra points. We had a ridiculous kicker my senior year. In the third round playoff game, we kicked a 48-yard field goal in the third quarter. I mean, it was just cool to be a part of a good special teams unit because I know that's something that Cedar Park, we've had so many troubles in past games. I mean, so many playoff games have crumbled because of special teams, and so to be a part of that unit that was so special was a lot of fun in my high school career.
But that entire team was darn good.
It was crazy, the amount of talent. We still got one guy going in the NFL right now, Spencer Trango. There we go, class of 11. But after that, I mean, it was straight to school. I went and did a little stint at Blinn, and then I transferred into Texas State, where then my father also had Krispy Kreme, but then also has a franchise of Bush's Chicken. So I'd been working at Bush's Chicken kind of in the background my whole life, and so then I became a general manager of the store in San Marcos and ran that Bush's Chicken for a long time and opened stores all over the state. And I realized that wasn't my passion, that actually sports broadcasting with Brad Cohn is my passion. Hey! There we go. But working for KMAC has given me many opportunities to pursue sports because, let's be honest, I don't have enough talent to play at the next level, but I swear I could talk about them. I swear, I got it. I got it in me. The Willard of Oz has got it in them. And so it's given me a good time now that I'm separate from the family business. I'm actually the warehouse manager right down the road at CB Hardware, and I work for KMAC now trying to do as much as I can. So I don't know, man. I'm all about this community. I love this program. It's taught me so much about being a man and just being a part of the community, and that's what's amazing to still be a part of this program. I mean, almost 10 years now. Oh, my gosh, almost 10 years since I've graduated, but it's great to still see just this program thrive and just they're not complacent. This program has never been complacent as I've exited this program, and so that's kind of the good thing is that you feel happy that our senior class back in 2010 maybe encrypted this mentality in these guys that it doesn't matter about the size or anything like that. You just go out there and play your game. And Coach Ross really encrypted that in us, and obviously Coach Absek bringing that on. It doesn't matter about the other guys. It matters about yourself. I'm a Cedar Park Timberwolf through and through, Brad. That's all I got to say.
Josh, if you're as enthusiastic about everything else you do in life as you are about doing the broadcasting of Timberwolf football, you're going to do well. I can tell you that. All right, I'm Brad Cohn. I'll do play-by-play on the broadcast in games not played at the GUP because for those home games, I'm the stadium announcer. But even then, I'll host the games broadcast doing the pregame, halftime, and postgame shows with Josh and Cecil. And I've been doing the broadcast since our first full KMAC season meeting with the 31-21 opening road win at Westlake in 2008. This is my 11th season in the broadcast role. So, yeah, that means this year's seniors were in their first week of first grade when I broadcast that win over Westlake. Colombia. I've been doing the stadium announcer thing since the school opened in '98. I've been the stadium voice of every home game for Cedar Park, at Old Bible, at New Bible, and at Gupton, with just 2 exceptions, both fairly recently when we had logistical situations. I had to cover the broadcast, and we slid Russell Moritz into the stadium mic. Did a terrific job both times. Since 2001, I've also provided the individual and team offensive stats and the team defensive stats for the coaching staff. And because I have all that data, I also keep the official school record book, and that's why I'm able to dig up so much cool stuff for the games and for these broadcasts of Timberwolf Night in America. I'm 59 years old, born at Schilling Air Force Base in Salina, Kansas, then shunted around the country for several years until I was 13, at which point we came to Austin, and I've lived in this area ever since. I graduated 15th in my class of 578 from Austin Lanier. It was a big school, enrollment 2,700 back then. Would be big 6A now. That was in 1977. I've been married to the lovely Sherry Kirchhoffer since '80. That'll be 38 years in December. We've got 3 daughters, Carrie, Allison, and Taylor, 34, 33, and 25. I've got 3 granddaughters, Carrie's daughter Harper, Allison's daughters Leah and Logan. They are 7, 6, and 4. All of these daughters and granddaughters are right here in Cedar Park, except Taylor, who's in Washington, D.C. All of them graduated from CPHS. Carrie was in the first class to go all 4 years of their high school experience at CPHS, and not a single class at Leander. She was in the class of '02. Allie graduated 1 year later in '03. Carrie was a soccer player. Allie was a cheerleader. And Taylor in 11. Taylor was in Josh's class, in fact. Kind of knew who each other's were. 2 years ago, last week, I retired after 38 years as an IT professional, 7 at Texas Instruments and over 31 at the Texas Education Agency. I'm a refugee of the University of Texas School of Journalism. I was in RTF there from 77 to 79. Then I switched majors to computer science, and of course that's the field I ended up in professionally. But once I started back doing this kind of stuff with Chuck Licata, I kind of started to wish I'd never changed. I really enjoy it. My best football accomplishment was probably stopping all-world Seguin running back David Brothers cold one Friday night in '74. I was a safety assigned to play the line close, and he ran my way 3 times. All 3 times, I threw away the guy blocking me and took Brothers down behind the line for losses of 3, 5, and 7 yards. This guy, David Brothers, would eventually be a starter at A&M, and 1 year rushed for over 1,300 yards there, but he rushed for -15 against Brad the Hammer Cone.
That's right.
As a second baseman, I once turned an unassisted triple play in a JV baseball game. That's my only moment of real greatness. It wasn't even on a varsity. Let's see. Yeah, I played basketball too as a dead-eye shooter, but not much at defense, so I didn't start. It's too short and slow for big-time basketball success. Too small for football. I had trouble with the curve in baseball, so high school was as far as I got in any of that. When I was at UT, I was on the sports staff of our award-winning campus newspaper, the Daily Texan, which we all jokingly called the Deadly Toxin. And in that role, within just a few weeks of each other, I had 2 very prestigious and remarkable interview encounters. I was the first person to talk with Earl Campbell as he stepped off the plane having returned from New York City in his Heisman Trophy ceremony. They're coming back early, and they called UT to tell them, but didn't call any of the other local media. So, me, being UT, I was there on time, and nobody else was. I was the only one to interview him when he got off the plane. And just about 3 weeks later, I was assigned, since I was just a freshman, to conduct a post-game interview of the quarterback of the other team in Texas' appearance in the '77 National Championship game, the Cotton Bowl, played on January 2nd of '78. Texas was number 1 and 11-0, had both the leading offense and leading defense in the nation, had the Heisman Trophy winner and the Outland Trophy winner, Brad Shearer. Yet they lost to some junior no-name quarterback in the Notre Dame Fighting Irish that day, some unknown guy by the name of Joe Wyoming or Joe Idaho or something like that. Oh, yeah, Montana, yeah, Joe Montana. So as an 18-year-old freshman, I got to interview 2 guys who are now in the NFL Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow.
Pretty good short career in collegiate journalism. They're only about 3 weeks apart. And over these last several years, it's not just Cedar Park football. I've been the broadcast voice of Timberwolf baseball for 10 seasons, arena voice at the Timberdome for Cedar Park's men's and women's hoops. I was asked by the UIL to be one of 3 arena announcers at the Irwin Center for the state championship basketball tournaments from '09 to '13 when they moved it to San Antonio. I didn't want to drive that far. Since 2010, I've been the arena voice for Concordia men's and women's basketball, and I'm the stadium voice for Concordia baseball since '11. I also worked some St. Edwards hoops, soccer, baseball, and softball games on a part-time basis. From '03 to '12, I was arena voice in the Wolf's Den, the other name of the Timberdome, for Cedar Park Wrestling. Along with K-Max Merle Bertrand, I almost called him Burl Mertrand. I broadcast the annual Austin Area High School Softball Hall of Fame each June. I'm the MC for the season-ending Timberwolf football and baseball banquets, and over the years I've done announcing for Cedar Park Powder Puff games, that's right, they play basketball riding donkeys in our gym, faculty, student basketball games, pep rallies, and even appeared on the Wolfcast a couple of times. And believe it or not, I've actually been paid up to $500 per gig to be a guest speaker at other high school banquets and graduation events. Let me tell you, there's nothing more humbling than trying to conjure up something meaningful to say to 500 or 600 people that you think might be worth $500. The key is that it gets a lot easier when you look at it as though everyone's just paid about $1 each. Now, I've done all manner of other minor little announcing gigs, and in fact, if you know me, this is not a surprise. I've kept a log, and as of tonight, I've announced, broadcast, hosted, or been a guest speaker at 45 different kinds of events, 1,278 times since starting back down this road in '98. And I got to tell you, Josh, the highlight of all that, of all those 1,278 events, my favorite moments came while working with this crew doing the 3 state championship games this football program has reached in 12, 14, and 15. Even the loss in 14 counts. Nothing has been more invigorating, more awe-inspiring for me than riding along with this program, these players and these coaches as they experience that one last chance to make it real, living out one of the biggest moments of their lives. all these years have been very rewarding. All the good people you meet, interacting with the young athletes, the coaches and administrators, the parents and other affiliates of the Booster Club, with my broadcast teammates. It all keeps me young. I don't feel like I'm 59, and I hope to be at this for quite a while longer.
That's Mr. Cohn. I just got to say, I mean, people don't understand the amount that you truly put into all of these shows, and that's what's been fun in my broadcasting career, is having someone to look up to and mold what I want to do, because you are so good at everything you do with this. I mean, in just creating and generating content and making fun nicknames, you make it fun, you make it enjoyable for everyone, and that's what I truly have enjoyed, just being the young one, just watching and observing, because it's really helped my broadcasting. And I didn't start off doing play-by-play. It was only color, and so it's really cool to expand and just want to keep striving for more in broadcasting, because I mean, I'm looking up to the guy I'm broadcasting with.
Well, I appreciate it, and here's a 50. Don't spend it all on one.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Well, I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's the kind of work that's fun. You know,
right.
When you're enjoying what you're doing, even if it's quote unquote work, there's something fulfilling about doing it and doing it right. You know, and so I don't really care how many hours I put in. Since I retired, I've got to put more hours in. I think these last 2 seasons, I've, in my estimation, done a little bit better job at TNI and the game broadcast, simply because I got all my own time to put into it. I've not had to work in downtown Austin 50 hours a week and still shuffle out here and try to get things done in the evening. And it's made it a lot better. Retirement is a wonderful gig.
There we go.
I recommend it for everybody.
Perfect. It's on the horizon.
All right, Josh, you told us you've got some new ideas for some things you're going to do on TNIA this year. Talk about the Josh segment and what's going to be on there.
So pretty much what I'm going to try to do is being a part of that 2010 team, I still have great connections with a lot of those guys, and they've really molded this year park program and what it is today, and I feel like it's going to be a good opportunity if I could get some of them to come back and get onto the broadcast with us. Was going to have one person lined up for tonight, Dylan Jarvis, a defensive back. We're going to get him out for next week's show because he has a son. I mean, I'm telling you, we're 10 years graduated now almost, and he's already got a son. He was a defensive back who played behind Travis Rhyme and Ryan Roberts and Chris McCullough. He was a part of that rotation in the 2010 season, and so we're just going to try to bring some more of those past guys on, because this is something that should be celebrated. This should be a community involvement activity. We want you guys to come up here. Mr. Weems has been very attentive and coming every single week, and so it's a lot of fun if we can get a lot of people up here. And so we're just trying to involve as many people as we can, because there's a lot of great stories too from this community as well, and we want to just check in on those people and see where they're at.
Sounds like a good idea. We look forward to doing that sort of thing this season on Timberwolf Night in America. Our guests this year, arranging, of course, through head coach Carl Absek. Of course, tonight we told you we've got the defensive backs, 5 of them here. Next week, the week of San Angelo Central, we'll have the running backs. The week after that, prior to the Cinco Ranch game, we'll have linebackers. The week of Rouse, when district starts, we'll have the O-line. The week we play Connolly, we'll have receivers. The week of Georgetown, we'll have quarterbacks. The week of Hutto, the D-line. October 23rd, that Tuesday, that is a bye week. That Friday night we don't play. We'll also have a bye week for the show. October 30th, week of Pflugerville, we'll have the kicker and punter. And November 6th, the week of Manor, the regular season closer, we'll have Coach Absek himself grace the show. All right, state of the program. This is the 20th year of varsity football for Cedar Park High School. In the previous 19 seasons, the program's won 10 district titles, 3 regional crowns, played in 3 state championship games, winning 2 of those. Overall record 170-65. Home record 78-26. Away 92-39. At the Gup 44-4. That's amazing. Playoffs 33-11 versus top 10 teams 23-12. While ranked number 1, we are 21-1 and on a 21-game winning streak. We lost the first game we ever played as a number 1 ranked team. Bad night in Abilene. Josh remembers that.
That was a long drive.
A current 26-game district winning streak. We have not lost a district home game since 2011. Starting with the 2010 season, 8 straight double-digit totals, win totals. Overall 100 wins, 16 losses. In district, 51-3. In the playoffs, 29-6. This is since the starting with the 2010 season.
I'm just glad that I just want people to know that that's where the records start. the records are start with that 2010 team.
Yeah,
I'm not
the
trying to
streak
do
of
the
excellence
right,
start.
the streak
Yeah.
of excellence. Let's put it like that. I just gotta give it a little pat.
All right, we've had some coaching changes this year, and I hate that. Coaching continuity is big and important, and has been a hallmark of this program. We usually lose none or one or maybe two, but we lost 4 this year. Good guys all. Tyler Forrest, he has moved on to become assistant baseball coach at Lake Travis. Pecos McDaniel, head women's basketball coach at Round Rock. Some people may not know that he was a women's basketball coach before he came to Cedar Park. He was head coach at Dripping Springs for women's basketball for a long time. Want to get back into that, and Round Rock's going to be a nice step up, and good job for him. Tim Nicky, I hate to be losing these lifetime Timberwolves. He got the defensive coordinator job at Willis, though, a team we played in the first round of the playoffs a couple years ago. Brent Britton, Big Britton. Oh, he might be the one we lose the most. He joins Chris Ross again at Red Oak as their defensive coordinator. So
That's where my brother is too.
Yeah, as the offensive coordinator, right?
That's right.
So Forrest, McDaniel, Nicky, and Britton, great coaches here, and lost them all. They've been replaced by these guys. Chris Staten, he'll take over has taken over linebackers and assistant baseball coach with Coach Garvilli. Adam Ortega takes the inside receivers. Kyle Blanton with the outside receivers. Sam Forr, Forr, with the defensive line. So new coaches Staten, Ortega, Blanton, and Forr. That's our coaching turnover for this year. One of the biggest turnovers we've had since 15, when it was only Carl Absek and Brent Britton, and who else stayed? I can't remember. There was a third guy who stayed. Can't remember that. There's 3 who stayed. Won a state championship then, so they did something right.
I can't even remember on that one.
All right, recent action. Unfortunately, we have to go there. We've got to review the Vandergrift game. Fell in that one 29-13, a weird score. We didn't get an extra point, and they picked up an extra point off the weirdest 2-point.
That was the dumbest rule I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, we partially blocked an extra point. It falls into the end zone. Now the rule is, when that happens, if a member of the defensive or receiving team touches it in the end zone and doesn't corral it, and it's still flopping free, if a member of the kicking team falls on it, that's good for 2 points.
I mean, work that in the system. You got to try to get a ricochet play off now. Let's get that 2 points.
That's how they got 29 instead of 28. Because of that, we had to go for 2 on one of our touchdowns and didn't make it, so we ended up with 13 instead of 14. So it was 4 touchdowns to 2. First downs, Vandergrift 14, Cedar Park 13. Well, pretty close there. Rushing, Cedar Park 26 for 96, a 3.69 average. Vandy 47 for 171, a 3.64 average. So in average per rushing play, we actually outrushed them. They had more rushing plays, so they had more yards. Passing through the air, our 2 quarterbacks, 12 of 30, 2 picks, 155 yards, completion percentage of 40, yards per attempt 5.17. They went 8 for 13, and from 4 minutes left in the half to the end of the game, only completed 3 passes. But the bad news was they were all touchdowns.
Right.
For 111 yards, so we outthrew them passing yards-wise, 155 to 111. A 61.5 completion percentage, 8.54 yards per attempt. The touchdown passes were all a fair distance, and that upped their yards per attempt average quite a bit. Take out those, their yards per attempt was the same as ours. So total offense, Cedar Park 251, Vandergrift 282, and that's only 31 yards difference. At one point, they were in the young 200s, like 223 or something, and we had 62. So we drastically closed that gap as the game went on. In fact, we had more yards of offense than they did until their last 70-yard or so possession near the end. They passed us back up again to kind of end the game. Return yards, we had 145, 28 on punts, 117 on kickoffs. They had 35 on kickoffs, 23 on interceptions for 58 punts. Well, we made them punt more times than they made us punt, 6 times to 5. We also punted better than they did, 38.2 average. Ours was 39-0. Penalties, we had more, 6 to 4, and more yards, 45 to 17. The scoring, Dawson, a 10-yard pass to Trey Mongauzi. With just 4.5 minutes left in the half, it was still a nothing scoreless tie, and they hit that short touchdown pass right over the middle. 2 plays later, Watson with a 23-yard pick 6. And it looks like 1 minute and 5 seconds. It went from a nothing tie to we were down 14-0.
Yeah, that one kind of sucked the energy out. I mean, it was just it seemed like miscommunication on the offensive side of the ball, and just right after a score like that, it's hard to come out of a hole like that.
It stayed that score at halftime, stayed that score into the third quarter, and at the 8:37 mark, Dawson, a 31-yard pass up the left sideline to Logan Arnold, and that's when they had the weird 2-point conversion to make it, instead of 21-0, 22-0. Then Hernandez, a 13-yard pass to Carson Neal. Bohr with the kick made it 22-7. Then they had a 19-yard pass to Bennett. Kick made it 29-7. Then we had a 5-yard pass, Hernandez to Neal. Went for 2, didn't get it. Went for 2 3 times. Couldn't pull it off. And that made it 29-13, and that's how it ended.
Yeah, I mean, it was just kind of a head-scratcher because the offense just couldn't get anything really going, but the defense, I thought, really played great football. The offense has just got to help out at some point to give the defense a break. I thought, especially going in at halftime, we knew Cedar Park, when talking with Dr. Moe during the halftime show, we know Cedar Park is always going to make the adjustments and, fix everything that needs to be fixed. And you saw that in the second half when Ryder in that offense came back and gave us a chance, and the defense even came up with some big stops. Tammer coming up with that huge tackle in the backfield to stop him on third down. It was a close game, and with all these things that went wrong, you were still in it.
Yeah.
And so that's with a 6A team, you've got to take that home and learn from it. It's got to be something you got to be happy about.
Yeah, they got 500 or 600 more students than we got to populate that football program.
It's still little brother, though. I mean,
the names that I remember calling as the stadium voice for tackles on defense were Morales, a linebacker.
Yeah.
Tammer Alzer, who's here with us tonight, and who else was it? Munoz up front. Those
Munoz.
3 names seem to have 75% of our tackles. Those guys really had their engines going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had some passing problems. This is not a program historically that has passed more times than it runs. We threw 30 passes, had 26 rushing plays. And part of that was being down by 3 touchdowns, there in the second half for a while. But both quarterbacks struggled with streaks of incompletions. Fiala completed his first 4, never completed another one. Went to 0 for his last 7 with 2 picks, and one of them was a pick 6. Hernandez started out 0 for his first 3 and 1 for his first 5, then threw a touchdown pass. And did fairly well the rest of the night. Got all his passing yards, 100 yards after his third pass was thrown. So after he got 3 passes in, he went 8 for 16, 50% completion percentage for a young sophomore getting his first extended action. It's not too bad.
No, that's great. I mean, it gave him a chance at the end, too. I mean, his athleticism just it puts the offense in a good position.
Will Udoye had 51 yards on 4 catches. Carson Neal, leading receiver for both receptions. He had 5, and yards he had 61. In touchdowns, he had both of them, a 13-yarder and a 5-yarder. Both in the second half. Jonathan Stockwell a catch for 27. John Sneed a catch for 10. Brett Herbstreit a catch for 6. And that's all she wrote.
I mean, I thought offensively, though, there were some great plays. The receivers made some good catches. So Carson Neal made a great catch to get down into the red zone towards the end of the game. Had to go up in a 50-50 ball. But still, though, from the wideouts perspective, just me being harsh, I mean, there were some drop balls with that as well. But still, on the outside, doing some great run blocking. I thought the receivers did very well. Ryder did a good job of getting the ball out in a hurry and not waiting for anything to develop. I thought he did a good job.
Good pocket presence, too.
Yeah.
He seemed to know when the pressure was coming and squared away like a water bug.
And I think the offensive line, they just got a slow start. Once they got going in the second half, the run game opened up a little bit more. It seemed like they were a little bit more pissed off, but it wasn't enough time on the clock.
Yeah, our yardage in the second half, if I look at this on my fancy schmancy stat spreadsheet and do a little quick research here, we had 189 yards in the second half. That's on track for just short of 400 yards if you play a whole game that way.
Right.
So that's not too bad. All right, now, folks, don't let this loss worry you. This program, as great as it's been over this last decade, historically has had trouble with season openers. In fact, since 2008, we've only won the season opener 3 times. 2010 over Westwood.
What up?
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
2015 over Aledo and Waco, and 2016 over Waco Midway. In 2009, we dropped the opener, and by season's end, we'd won our last 6A district title. In 2014, we lost to Aledo, and 16 weeks later, we're playing in the state championship game. In 2012, we dropped the opener to Westlake, and the second game to Abilene Cooper, starting 0-2, and never lost again, winning the state championship. This program uses losses as learning tools. We don't panic over them. That's for other, somewhat lesser programs. Losses serve to keep us mindful of how valuable winning is. Keep your faith in these coaches. Players, keep your buy-in to this program. They know how to do this, as evidenced by the past successes. So nobody head for the lifeboats quite yet. Another thing about that 14 team, we're really thinking, oh, wow, maybe the run has ended. We lost the opener, won a couple of games, and we lost the district opener on the road 23-0 to Dripping Springs, who was winless last place district team the year before. What was going on there?
We had to crawl into the playoffs that season.
Then we won a game. Then we lost at Vandy on 4 75-yard touchdown bombs. And at that point, we were 4-3 overall and 2-2 in district. We thought, well, I guess the run ended. 8 weeks later, we're in the state championship game.
I know.
So
was
players,
that at Reliant?
keep that buy-in. Keep that buy-in. These coaches know what they're doing. All right, we need to talk about our sponsors a little bit. Chairman of sponsorship, Ben Bretz of the Booster Club, and other members of the club have done a terrific job this year of lining up sponsors. We've produced commercials of most of them that we'll play here on TNIA and during games as the season goes. Here are this year's Timberwolf football sponsors, and we urge you to give them your consideration for your business needs. Family Emergency Room, U.S. Money Reserve, Danny's Barbershop, Call Fire, Mouton's Southern Bistro, Majore's, where we are tonight, Toyota of Cedar Park, Jeff Dietz Allstate, The Grass Patch, Alzer's Barbecue. How come that name sounds familiar? Don't we know somebody named Alzer?
Hey-o.
Alzer's Barbecue.
Some good stuff.
Parker Electric, SRK Financial Group, Army Ant Moving, and the law office of Travis Williamson. How smart is a guy to set up a business right here on the county line of Williamson and Travis County, and his name is Travis Williamson?
What are the odds?
What are the odds? All right, Josh, time for your segment tonight.
Well, I don't got much tonight because we're going to wait so we can get some more guys coming in. Dylan Jarvis going to be scheduled for next week. A defensive back from the Cedar Park 2010 season, also played on the baseball team as well. So we're going to try to get some of him. But kind of my stupid is as stupid does. I don't have the music queued up for you guys back at home, but Brad, are you seeing all this stuff about Nike?
I sure am.
Nike just announced that they're going to release a Colin Kaepernick shoe, and they're going to give him this opportunity to use his platform. And there are people on the internet right now burning their Nike stuff. Now,
well, I was talking about this with some of the guys before, and it's one thing to just support him, and you're going to risk losing some business there. But why they've lost, what was it, $4.7 billion in stock value in one day? The reason for that is how they've gone about it. One of their slogans they're using in this campaign is for those who've sacrificed everything. Well, those guys haven't sacrificed anything.
Right.
It really offends the people and the families, the people who have in the U.S. military. And it's that constituency that's kind of giving them the proverbial finger and going away from that.
And I totally get that, but to the people that are burning their clothes.
Yeah, that's a little weird, isn't it?
I live in an apartment complex right across from Vandergrift High School. You could bring it over there, and I'll wear all your Nike clothes. Do not burn it.
Some of my Longhorn stuff. Well, there
hey,
you go. It's
I'll
Nike
wear it.
Stuff. I'm not going to burn my
Longhorn. It blows my mind
stuff.
that people are going to let it eat it at them like that. Stupid is as stupid does, man.
Life is like a box of chocolates.
That's right. That's right.
All right, we're going to identify our new district this year. The biennial realignment that UIL did something a little extra this time. Not only mixed around the teams in the district, they also caused us to be 2 fewer, which everybody likes. You get more non-district tune-up games. Instead of 2, we got 4 in a 7-team district. We were in a 9-team district for 2 years. But also, that kind of kludgy D1, D2 split that they would do at the end of the season. In every district, their top 4 teams in the playoffs, first through 4th place, whichever the 2 largest ones enrollment-wise went into D1 and the 2 smallest ones went into D2 and 2 brackets and 2 state titles.
A little bit easier for me.
Yeah, now they've done that right up front. There are still 32 districts in 5A in the state, but 16 of them are D1 right now. That's one that we're in. And the other 16 are D2 right now, and they'll never cross paths in the playoffs. So it's a little easier just to kind of project forward. We're in District 11 5A D1. It's us, of course, Connolly, Georgetown, Hutto, Manor, Pflugerville, and Rouse. You know what they did this last week? Well, we know what we did. Connolly lost to Austin High 56-41. Georgetown beat Abilene Wiley 31-7. I think Wiley may be a 4A school. I'm not sure about that. Hutto beat West Mesquite 52-31. West Mesquite's a big 6A team. Manor beat Westlaco East 26-21. Pflugerville lost to Austin Bowie 45-13. Rouse beat Vista Ridge 34-13. You see any upsets right there? I don't think I do, except maybe Rouse and Vista Ridge. I don't know.
Rouse and Vista Ridge, I don't know if it's that much of an upset, more of just bad blood, but
it's 5A beating 6A, but I guess.
Yeah, everything shook out the way I planned it.
All right, of course, our schedule this year, we've got the Vandergrift game under the belt already. The only one played in August. This week, of course, 2 nights from now, Thursday night, we play Cedar Ridge over at the Palmer Palace. And then next week, back to Fridays the rest of the year, San Angelo Central coming here. September 21st, we're in Houston. We'll play the farthest east regular season game this program has ever played. We play at Katy ISD's new Legacy Stadium against Cinco Ranch at 6:30. That's also the only 6:30 kick. We're going to have to leave Austin around noon to get there.
Make sure you follow Willard DeVos for the broadcast team road trip.
All right.
Make sure you can follow the Chronicles.
Man, yeah, we ought to record some
Absolutely.
of our adventures.
Maybe not all of it.
It could be a reality show.
Yeah.
All right, then we start district the 28th, homecoming Rouse at the Gup. October 5th, Connolly at the Pafield. October 12th, Georgetown at the Gup. 19th, Hutto at the Hippodome. 26th, we have the bye. Then 2 more games, November 2nd, Pflugerville at Gup. And November 9th, Manor at their new Mustang Stadium, a place we've never been. So we're going to a few places we've never been this year. Legacy Stadium and Mustang Stadium. Next year we'll go to San Angelo Central. Hadn't been there. So a couple new stadiums here and there over the next couple of years. All right. We're going to have a conversation with the defensive backs in just a moment. Josh, if you could just put up some bumper music, give us a little break here. I know we don't have our ads set up to run yet, but we're just going to take a little, get our whistle wet break and stop for about a minute while you listen to this music, and we'll come right back with the defensive backs.
KMAX Sports is on Twitter. Get up-to-date scores and more on your computer and on the go with your smartphone. It's fast and easy. Just follow us at KMAX Sports.
We hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast. At KMAX Sports, we work hard to provide quality professional broadcasts to make it easier for the booster clubs with whom we work to find sponsorships. We ask that you please patronize these advertisers and thank them for supporting your team's broadcasts. You can help your booster club fund the broadcast by simply clicking on the donate button on KMAXSports.com. And if you're a fan of the other school, you can show your appreciation for tonight's broadcast by making a donation as well. Thank you in advance for your support. And now, let's take you back out to the game.
This is the KMAX Sports Network, and this is what we do.
Looking left, throws into the end. Snap again. He hits the turf, and Devon scoops it up. Cameron Wilkins
corner on the end zone. 10, 5, touchdown.
Let us broadcast your team. Send an email to Merle@KMAXSports.com or Chuck at KMAXSports.com to find out how.
Side, he's got blockers in front of him.
10,
Touchdown.
5, touchdown.
Yes, sir.
It's what we do, and nobody does it better. We are KMAX Sports.
And we're back. KMAX Sports, powered by the Vype Network, live from Majores here in the heart of the 613, Cedar Pack, Texas, near La Calene and Cypress Creek Road. The reason I say that, folks, La Calene, I told this story a couple of years ago. Somebody that I knew downtown was asking me directions or something. They were new to Cedar Park, and they knew I lived there. And they said, so, whatever, I forget where they're asking me directions to. So you go, okay, so you take a La Calene, meaning lake line, and they thought it was a Hawaiian word or something. And so I just kind of chuckled and corrected their pronunciation. But around here, I've been using La Calene ever since. That just kind of sounds cool. Near the corner of La Calene and Cypress Creek. It's in the same strip center that Randall's is at the other end of. We're near the Austin Telco. We're near the Taco Bell. And we're near the liquor store. Well, I probably shouldn't say anything about the liquor store on a high school sports broadcast, but we are near there. We're not doing anything with them, but we are near there.
Heyo.
All right, we got the defensive backs in tonight. It's Strider Laster, Cole Holland, Keon King, Caden Combs, Tamara Hauser, and their coach, one Brian Pollard. And Brian, you're up first. Coach Pollard coaches defensive backs, and I guess Chris Garvillick helps you. What is the division of duties between the two of you?
Coach G usually has the corners. I go with the safeties, and then we just kind of get together and decide what kind of coverages and matchups we're looking for that week.
So your defensive backs, I thought, we talked a little bit before the broadcast, and I thought they did a pretty decent job. Not a good yards per attempt for them, not a great completion percentage, not a lot of yards. And the only minus was they had 3 touchdown passes.
Right, which, you know, and that's what we talk about, being defensive backs, that we're graded on the big play. And as long as we give up the big play, it looks bad on paper. You know, when we get back, we're just trying to fine-tune our techniques. Overall, we did not play bad, but, you know, you make a mistake back there and it's 6 points. So, you know, leaning on these young guys to get that experience and learn what it's like to make the mistakes and understand how important every step is.
And run support, too. I called one of your safeties, Tamara Alzer. I called his name a lot as a stadium announcer on tackles, and I know a lot of those tackles were up by the line. Tamara was rushing, helping run support, and keeping them to a fairly low yards per carry average, especially after, like, the middle of the second quarter. They didn't run very well at all.
You know, that's the good part about having Cole and Tamara both back there is they like to come downfield and hit. Tamara did have several key tackles right around the line of scrimmage, if not behind it. Cole made a big play coming up out of coverage on a third down in the third quarter, I believe. Hit the quarterback on a scramble right before he gained the line. And it's always a fun mix with those two because they want to get down and they want to hit and they think they're 6'2" linebackers and they're not. So I got to rein them in and make sure we're covering first.
It's all about leverage, though.
Yes, sir.
It's all about leverage. You know how to hit somebody. You can bring anybody down. You know, Tamara's a good shot. Here's Tamara sitting right now. She's not a big fella. You meet him in in the mall, and you wouldn't guess that he could bring down the running backs he brought down so viciously against somebody like Vandergrift, but he can.
Yeah, you know, like I said, he's a hard-hitting kid. He's got great leverage, great explosiveness through it. His hips are really well, and he tracks the hip really well when he goes in.
Now, tell folks a little bit, especially our new fans, some of your background, where you went to high school, college, athletic background, and what path brought you to Cedar Park.
Yes, sir. I've been at Cedar Park for the last 4 years. Came over here from Permian, where I did graduate in '99. Throughout high school, played football, played soccer. Ended up graduating from Tech in, I think, 2005, and then got to go back and coach at Permian for a little bit. And then the chance to come here to Cedar Park opened up, and it's just a job that my wife and I felt we couldn't pass up for the community, the school, the kids. We've got 2 kids who are both going to LISD, and we just love it here. I mean, it's just been a blessing to get to this part of Texas.
Well, we're happy to have you. You all are doing a great job in that coaching staff. I imagine you have to teach, too. What do you teach?
Yes, sir. I have world history.
Oh, it's my favorite subject.
It is.
Can I come
it
sit
is
in your
nice.
class someday?
Anytime you want.
I would love to do that, actually. History's my favorite. Hey, you guys, let me tell you something. This is a history teacher. He'll back me up on this. There's all kinds of subjects you can study in school. There's, of course, math. There's the language art, reading and writing. There's science, and there's other, engineering, whatever it is. All of these are tasks, and they're important to know. But they are just tasks. In history class, you learn what humanity has done once they have those tasks in hands and they go out to make and shape the world. History is everything. These other courses are just little parts of the story of humanity's track through existence. History is that story.
You make me want to crack a book.
Oh, man.
Never mind.
I'm going to go sit in on his class. All right, Brian Pollard. Thanks a lot, Brian. And, of course, chime in. We're going to come back to you when we talk about Cedar Ridge coming up.
Yes, sir.
And hand the mic next to Tamara Alzer. Tamara, you're a defensive back, but you're a safety. And you're one of how many Alzer brothers?
I got 5, including me, 5 brothers.
You 5 brothers? So there's 6 of you?
Oh, five of us.
Oh, okay. I was thinking I was been wrong. I always thought there were 5. And you are the 4th, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, we know Amir, quarterback of our 14 state championship game
Yes, sir.
team. And Sammy just left last year. He's a tight end, caught a lot of important touchdown passes, played
Yes,
on the
sir.
baseball team, got
Yes,
some
sir.
important hits there. Who am I forgetting? Omar between
Allen.
the two of them, he was
Yes,
a
sir.
linebacker and a running back on that undefeated 15 state championship team, our best team ever. Sorry, Josh, but you have to agree.
Understood.
Yeah, he's got to go with that one. He's honest. And he also played baseball, shortstop, third base, pitched. Now, do you play baseball?
Not anymore, sir, no.
Who's the younger brother?
Younger brother, his name is Manir.
Manir.
He'll be a 7th grader this year.
Okay, so it's a
Oh.
little while for him. So, and
Yes,
you're a
sir.
junior?
Yes, sir.
So he won't be here before you go, right?
He'll be a freshman.
He'll be no.
Because he's a junior now. He'll be a senior when he's in
Yeah.
8th grade. And then he comes to 9th and he's graduating.
Yes, sir. I'll be gone by the time he comes.
So, yeah, you won't get to play together.
No, sir.
So the backyard football games and wiffle ball games at the Alzer house have to be probably seen to be believed, right?
Yes, sir. It's always been fun growing up with my brothers. We've always competed, and I want to be here today without them. And all they've taught me is just every experience we've had, they've taught me to be the man I am today. So I'm really appreciative of them.
Now, let me ask you an important question. Do you like barbecue?
Yes, sir. I love barbecue.
The Alzer family's opened up that barbecue business. It's a sponsor of the broadcast. It's there. A couple of food trailers that are just beside a Shell station. It's on 1431 North Side, just east of the intersection with La Caline. I've been there several times, and it's great.
Thank you.
Everything I've
really
gotten
appreciate
there
it. Thank you.
is great. You tell them that. So I noticed that both Amir and Omar are headed to or at UTSA. Is that what Samir's going to do?
No, Amir and Samir are both at UTSA.
Oh, I thought Omar was going to head that way, too.
Omar's still in town. He's helping out with the trailer. He's taking classes at ACC right now off of Cypress Street.
Do you have any ideas? I know you got 2 more years yet, but where are you going to go to school?
I mean, I know that UTSA has a good engineering school, and that's where I want to be that's what I want to be when I grow up. So I think I'll follow my brother's path, too.
I love it. America needs more engineers.
Yes, sir.
All right. I've got a daughter who's in his class, Taylor Cone, class of 11, who's got two degrees from UTSA, a bachelor's and a master's in political science, because she wanted to go work in Washington, D.C. And she's there now, and she just got a job about 3 weeks ago, and she sent me a message, and she said, well, I got a job. I'm working for an agency whose name I can't tell you, doing work that I can't tell you about except that it involves intelligence. Okay, stay alive. I have no idea what she's doing. But it's what she's been wanting to do. So UTSA, we thought she just had a great time there. Seems like a great school. I'm hoping your brothers are enjoying it.
Yes, sir.
And I hope you do.
Yes, sir. I love this community, and I love all the people around here. I don't know. It's just great growing up here. I'm blessed to be over here in Cedar Park with my coaches and my teammates. Anywhere I couldn't think of a better place I could be rather than Cedar Park right now.
You got any shout outs you want to give anybody who might be listening?
Or shout out my mom, shout out my family, shout out the secondary, shout out Ryan, shout out offense, shout out Black Rain. Yeah.
He's a shouter.
Shout out Alza's Barbecue.
As many as you got.
Yes, sir.
Oh, we got a fan from the past. Jacob Hines' mom is here, and she's listening. Well, thanks for coming. How's Jacob doing these days?
He's doing really good.
Oh,
He's doing
yeah.
really good. He went off to Colorado School of Mines and discovered that, 100 people come to the games? And he's like, what? I'm going to work out 40 hours a week for 100 people? He's like, I was blessed to play in Texas.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
No kid.
He's like, I'm blessed to play in Texas.
All right, well, thanks for coming tonight.
He's up at Tech.
Oh,
and
good.
he's doing really well.
Got tired of that.
Yeah.
Reckham
Tech.
Yeah,
All right.
Reckham.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks for coming tonight.
Yeah.
Jacob Himes' mom joining us here. Tamara, before we leave you, I want to point out to folks that may not realize that you're the punter also, right?
Yes, sir.
Where'd you learn to punt?
I mean, I used to play soccer a lot, which I still play soccer. And
so were you a goalie? Because you only got that punts.
Excuse me?
Were you a goalie? I guess he's the only guy that punts.
No, sir. I was a forward. I scored a lot of goals.
All right.
I'll score a lot of goals this season, too.
Do you like to rugby punt? Is that natural for you to do the rugby?
It's natural. I can do both, but rugby punts, I'm more comfortable. Both of them.
I mean, what was it, 39-yard average? That was consistent.
That's very good in high school. Yeah.
Being able to flip the field on special teams, that is absolutely vital.
Thank you.
You know, you started out a little cold with a 28-yarder, but the rest were 31, 33, 48, and 55.
The 55, yeah. That one got a good bounce.
Excellent job. All right, Tamara Alzer joining us here on Timberwolf Night in America. If you'll pass it, Tamara, to Caden Combs. Caden?
What's
Caden
up?
Combs, how you doing?
What up?
What's up?
What's
Doing good.
So you're a safety too, I guess.
Nah, I'm a corner.
You're a corner.
Oh, he's a starter.
That's right. We got all the DBs
He's
here.
new corner.
We got the safeties coach.
Fresh
I was
meat.
thinking of safety. So which side do you play on? What assignment do you draw?
It doesn't really matter. I just go to either side.
Who was the guy that you were covering most often the other night?
I covered number 9, number
9?
13, and number 2 the most.
Oh, so you're all over the place.
Yeah.
Which one of them was best? Gave you the most trouble?
Probably Reese, number 2. He's all right.
He caught a touchdown at one point, I think. Hopefully it wasn't on you.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to point it out if it was. Just a fact. So what do you like about being a DB? What drew you to say, okay, I'm going to be a DB?
I was always on the smaller side of things, so I mean,
tough to be a nose
and I'm
guard or
fast,
middle
so I just play DB.
Can you not catch?
No, I can catch.
Okay, I just making sure. I was a receiver.
See,
I got to
He's
ask.
a receiver, so he's got to.
I just got to ask.
That
If
old
you ain't
saw.
got that stick
Yeah.
boy, let me know.
Well, hopefully all these guys will have picks by the end of the season too. And when so what class are you? Junior, senior, sophomore?
2020. I'm a junior this year.
Junior. Any seniors? You're seniors, right? Okay. So you got a little ways to go like he does, but you've been thinking about college, where you might go, what you might do?
I really want to go to Texas Tech because that's where my mom and dad went.
And coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my dad played there. He was a running back. So I want to go to Tech.
What year?
Honestly, don't remember.
You should ask
I know
him.
he graduated in '96.
What was his name?
Clint Robertson.
Clint Robertson. Oh, we'll have to look that one up. That's a pretty cool story.
That's cool.
In school, football, we have to admit it, even though we're fans, it's the less important part of high school. I have to say that. What is it you like in your coursework at school? What is it you pay the most attention to and enjoy learning the most?
History.
Yeah.
That's a good answer based on what we just said and based on who the coach is.
That's right.
Boy, he's going to be in politics, isn't
That's
he?
right.
Good answer. Good answer. All right, well, so what is it you like about history?
I like what fascinates me the most is World War II. I like learning about World War II.
Me too. It's one of my favorite subjects. In fact, 3 weeks from this coming Sunday, my daughter and I are going to take a day trip out to Fredericksburg to see the National Pacific War Museum about World War II in the Pacific Theater. And I hear it's an all-day sucker, and you got to spend all day doing it. So she's a World War II fanatic like I am too. So, all right, Caden Combs. Caden, we got a tough team coming up. They move the ball well, any way you want to do it. What's going to be toughest about playing pass defense against Cedar Ridge?
All their players are big and strong and fast, and we just got to be bigger, stronger, and faster.
React well to them. What's the hardest part about playing corner? Is it being fast enough to keep up with the guy, or is it run support, or is it bringing the guy down if he catches it? Is it batting the ball? What's toughest to do?
The toughest part for me is the feet. The feet are a big part of playing DB. So
get the feet right, you get the rest of it right.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of players say that about their position.
Yeah.
Big part of the game. All right, thanks a lot.
Whoa.
No, go
do
ahead.
you cheat on one-on-ones with your own team? With the receivers? Yeah, you cheat?
No.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
No.
I knew those DBs. They always cheat.
All right, here's Keon King. Keon, I know, is a sophomore, and I mainly know that because I sat next to his parents at the Westlake scrimmage, and they talked about you a little bit. So.
Yes, sir.
So tell us, you're not a native of the Cedar Park area, that's correct?
No, sir.
Tell us where you're from and how you came to be here.
I was born in Germany, and when I was like 3 years old, I moved to Texas, and I lived in Killeen for about 5 years, and then I moved to Carpets Cove, and then when I was in the 4th grade, I moved to Round Rock, and then after living in Round Rock for 2 years, I moved to Cedar Park, and now I'm here.
So how long have you been to Cedar Park now?
I've been in Cedar Park for almost a whole year now.
Oh,
Nice.
okay, so fairly recent, yeah.
Yes, sir.
And just by the location you talked about, I'm guessing you've got a parent or both in the Army, right?
Yes, sir. My dad was in the Army.
Yeah. What do you do in the Army, you know?
I don't really know.
Followed orders, right?
That's right. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. That's what you're supposed to do. So, Keon, you're a corner,
yes,
if I
sir.
recall, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you draw a particular assignment, or like Caden, is it just, whatever defense is called?
Yeah, whatever defense is called, we just run it. We make the calls all across the field, and we run the defense that's called.
What do you like best about it, being a DB, being a corner?
Locking up the receiver and just proving a point and talking about it.
So do you talk with the guy? You talk with the guy?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yes, sir.
Let him know.
Yes, sir.
I got something for you. I mean, not only is Keon on the defensive side of the ball, but he's also a return man, too. And
yeah.
You had some great returns in that last game. And
Yes, sir.
something that I've always just noticed is some guys have it or they don't when they're being a return man.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, Keon, when you get that football, you're off and in a hurry. And That is what is so awesome to watch you. You're so young, and then as soon as you get that ball, you just go.
Thank you.
There's no hesitation in it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You and Carson Neal have some returns too. Both of you guys do something. I was a returner of punts and not so much kickoffs, but more punts. But something that is terrific that you do is you always head straight up. Get as many early yards before they're there as you can. It also draws all them away from the sides, and you head straight up and then boom to a side. Both of you guys did that and got good returns every time you did that. So that's fun to watch. All right, that's Keon King. And now if you'll pass that mic over to Cole Holland. Cole's one of our two seniors here. Strider Laster, our last guest, is the other one. And Cole, you were part of the big comeback last year, I believe,
Golly,
against
a
Georgetown.
legend. He's
Tell
a
us about
legend.
that play.
Yes, sir. You know, we were down in the game, had to make a big play for the team. He went.
Talking to the mic.
Yeah, just mouth a little closer.
The slot receiver ran a wheel route, and I just made a play on the ball, took it to the house.
And it was how far? I don't remember.
70.
I was thinking 70-something, wasn't it?
Did you think you were going to house it?
Yes, sir, when I got the ball at 6.
You knew at the moment you got it,
that's
huh?
awesome.
Yes,
I tell you what, those of us
that.
looking from on top kind of knew it too. There's like one little guy, and we thought, okay, if he gets here before he gets here, yep, he did it. About 10 yards after you had it, we thought, okay, now he's gone.
Yes, sir.
That was tremendous. That really kind of sparked the comeback. We were down, 21 points or something at that point? And that really that helped to spark it.
So going through what you've been through already with the teams that you've been through, you felt so many emotions. You've had that great comeback. You've lost your starting quarterback. You've gone a deep round in the playoffs. How do you bring all those experiences to this team? What are you trying to do to influence the younger guys?
You know, I just take what all the leaders before have taught me. You know, being a captain, I really got to step into a leadership role this year and lead the team and the defense to the best of my ability. You know.
I mean, you get there with your experiences because you could say, I've been there, done that. You made the plays, and that's just something that this year you're bringing it to them. That game this past Friday night, you were all over the place, flying around making plays.
Yes,
Not only can you lead on past experiences, but you're starting off on a good foot this year too.
Yes, sir.
And Cole, you're a team captain, and tell folks what's the process by which this program chooses its team captains?
The team votes on the captains. All the players put down. I think we put down 5 names, and then whoever has the most votes is the captain. So.
I mean, tremendous honor.
It is. Now, do they limit it to seniors only eligible or anybody?
Seniors only, yes, sir.
Cole, what do you plan on doing a year from now? Where are you going to be?
I may go play college football somewhere. If not, I plan on going to Tech.
Oh, a lot of texters. 3 of them here, yeah? 4, I guess you count Brian, right? Hi, it's Cole Holland, our senior safety, and if you'll pass the mic to Strider Laster. Strider, a senior also. And Strider, are you a safety as well?
Yes, sir, I am.
You know, I was a safety, strong side safety back in the days when high school teams, half of them ran the wishbone and threw 6 or 8 passes a game. So I didn't have to get involved in pass coverage much. I was like an extra linebacker on the strong side, played close to the line. And what I liked best about being a safety was, well, I was and still am what you might call a dense pack person. I weigh more than it looks like I do. People would look at me and think, he's 150. I was 175. People look at me now and say, well, you know, he's 195. I'm more than 195.
Yeah.
And I think that lent itself to ball carriers and receivers. You know, you look and there's all this action going here. People, bodies coming at you, and you're making your choices of what you're going to do in a split second. And they're seeing me and thinking they need about this much leverage to break my tackle, and they needed a lot more. Mm-hmm. And I was a very heavy tackler. And that's what I liked about being a safety, was blowing people up, doing something to somebody I get arrested for outside the stadium. What do you say?
Of course. That's like what it's all about, basically.
Right.
You know,
bring in the lumber.
Being the toughest person on the team as a safety, you got to be the leader of the defense and just make sure the calls are off. And so people are looking to you, and you just got to be ready for every snap.
That's awesome.
So do you, and I know you may have different names for the term, the strong side, weak side safety. Do you split those jobs? Or do you one play and one the other, or do you stay?
Not really. We just kind of go wherever we line up because we know we're going to get the job done. So.
What's your favorite aspect of being part of this football program?
Probably the teammates that I play with. just growing up with everyone, it's been really awesome just to get to know everybody and be able to call them my brothers. Some people might not have brothers, and to have these guys that you can play with is truly a blessing.
What's your favorite moment so far playing football for Cedar Park at any level?
My favorite moment is probably my first varsity game, just being under the lights. It was really nerve-wracking at first, but once you get the first couple plays, it's really cool.
Ugh.
All right.
I'm ready. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to play next week. I'm ready to
go
go Thursday.
All right. Ready to hit somebody. Ready to hit somebody. All right. We're going to take another short break to get ready for our game. We've been talking with the Cedar Park defensive backs, 5 of them anyway. And their coach, Brian Pollard, will take a short break. When we come back, we'll split these 6 people into 2 3-man teams. We're going to play a little trivia game. Cedar Park football on Timberwolf Night in America, powered by Vype.
KMAX Sports is on Twitter. Get up-to-date scores and more on your computer and on the go with your smartphone. It's fast and easy. Just follow us at KMAX Sports.
We hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast. And while all of us at the KMAX Sports Network are huge football fans, we broadcast more than just football, In fact, KMAX Sports proudly broadcasts volleyball, girls and boys basketball, softball, baseball, soccer, lacrosse, and more. For more information on how you can help KMAX Sports broadcast any of those sports, just reach out to Chuck at KMAXSports.com or Merle at KMAXSports.com, or contact that sports booster club directly. KMAX Sports will gladly work with you and the booster clubs to get that team's broadcasts on the air. And if you're a fan of the other team, well, we can broadcast your team's games too. We realize that, yes, even in Texas, there's more to life than just football. KMAX Sports, bringing your teams to you for 14 years.
All right. All right, welcome back. Timberwolf Night in America live from Majores in the heart of the 613. Brad and Josh bringing you the stuff here. Timberwolf Night in America. Been talking with the defensive backs, 5 of them. Strider Laster, Cole Holland, Keon King, Caden Combs, and Tanner Alzer, and their coach Brian Pollard. We split them up into teams of 3. On one team are Laster, Holland, and King. On the other are Combs, Alzer, and Coach Pollard. And here's the game. That is the story of some travelers new to Texas arriving in a small town and pulling into the local Dairy Queen for lunch. And they were baffled by the unusual name of the town. And one of them politely asked the waitress, "Can you be so kind as to explain to us exactly how you pronounce the name of this place?" And she looked puzzled for a moment, and then she slowly pronounced the name Dairy Queen. We need a laugh track, don't we? So for whatever reason, many Texans are driven to intentionally mispronounce the names of their own hometowns. This tendency extends to street names as well. Prime examples locally are Austin's Manchac for Manchaca, San Jacinto for San Jacinto, and Guadalupe for Guadalupe. When I was on campus, we called Guadalupe La de Goop. Our name game here will give players the opportunity to properly, and by properly that will often mean improperly, pronounce the names of many Texas towns, most of whom have well-known high school football programs. Now, some of these names we use here are counties, some are geographical places, most are names of small towns. I will spell the name of a Texas town or location, giving you time to write it down in front of you, and you must say that word to me as its residents wish it to be said. First word out of your mouth after we've confirmed the spelling of the word, that's what's going to be judged as your response. Now, some of these names may be pronounced correctly. You got to guess whether a mangled mispronunciation is officially used by the local citizenry. So we're going to start out with 3 local names, or 4 maybe, that you'll almost certainly know. Just to kind of get the thing going, I'm going to pass the mic to Strider Laster here. So that team will go first. That's Laster, Holland, and King. All right, here's the first one. B-U-D-A. B-U-D-A. You got that? Okay, y'all have an answer for that one. How do you say that?
Buddha.
Wrong! That's what everybody says, though. It's Buda. You instead of ooh. That's what I'm talking about. That's why this is such a fun
It's the little
game.
things.
I think, okay.
All right. Next one. We're gonna try Coach Pollard's team with Tanner Alzer and Caden Combs. They'll go next. Here's this one. This is the name of a county southwest of here. All right, ready? Write it down. B as in boy. B-E-A-U-D-A. Bexar. Bexar. Y'all know that one?
He's having to write it down.
Behar.
What?
Behar. You know, that's the correct Spanish pronunciation. But in Texas, they pronounce it like the animal, grizzly bear. Bear County. They act like that X isn't even there. So see, this game's tougher than it sounds like.
I got the good horn, too.
Yeah, you do. All right, Mike, back to the other team, if you will there, Caden. And we're going to go with the next one. All right, it's Boerne. Boerne. Oh, turn his mic up there.
Oh, there we go.
Go ahead.
Bernie.
Bernie it is. Ding, 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 ding. All right.
That's all there is to it.
All right, we got 1 point for the Cole Holland team. Let's go back over to the Brian Pollard team for this next one. All right. Ready? Here's the spelling. P is in Papa. Pedernales. Pedernales. You guys discuss it a moment. Give us a shot.
Pernalis.
Say it again.
Pernalis.
Man, it is so close. You're just missing a syllable. It's Pedernales. Pedernales. You're missing the D syllable. Yeah, looks like there's no R in front of the D, but that's what they say. Pedernales. All right, back to the other one. This is a tricky one. I hope it may be a hard shot for you to get this one. All right. This is 2 words. The second word is city. The first word is COLORADO. COLORADO, city. What is that? COLORADO. Very familiar looking word.
Colorado City.
I can't even play that back.
That's what I would have said, and it's wrong. El Dorado City. Even Colorado City, which is what Cole was trying to get him to say. That's how we pronounce the state. I mean, that's how the citizens of that state pronounce the state. But in Texas, you pronounce that town Colorado City. It is tough. I'm telling you, it's a tough game.
Texas phonics, man. Texas phonics.
Next one. And this is the Pollard team. GREENVILLE. GREENVILLE. What is the name of that town?
Remember, it's a weird game of pronunciation, so it might not be as
whatever it looks
easy
like it
as it
obviously
seems.
is, it ain't going to be that. You got to think of some other way they're pronouncing it.
Think Texan.
Greenville.
Oh, God.
Well, that's what I would have said. Actually, the way they do it, it's like what we would call Louisville, Kentucky. They don't like the vowel sound in their second syllable. They just take the I out. So they say it, Greenville, Louisville.
It's a goose egg.
Yeah. Still only 1 point scored. Okay, here Mike, back to the other team.
Mic check.
The Cole Holland team. All right, here we go with the next one. This is only 4 letters. P is in Papa. OTH. POTH. And
Pot.
That's what I would have said too. The only way I know this is that I was an announcer at the Irwin Center for 4 years for the high school basketball tournaments. That sound system will make anybody sound good, let me tell you.
Oh, man.
And this high school girls team came to the girls tournament several times. And the first time I said, I didn't think I needed a pronunciation check. Poth, yeah. And then quickly somebody came up to me and tapped me on the head. It's Poth. It was like Poath. You say it. Poth. All right, here's another one I learned from that same tournament for the next team, the Pollard team. Here we go. Ready? WITHALL. WITHARRAL. What's your guess?
You have the worst handwriting. I can't even read your hand. withdrawal.
Withdrawal, like I'm suffering from withdrawal. I would have said witherall, but they want you to say Whit Harrell.
What?
Whit Harrell. I came to the show with Harrell. Whit Harrell. How strange. All right, here's another one. All right, next team, Cole Holland's team. M is in Mama. Muenster. Muenster. What's your guess?
Munster.
Munster is correct. Ding, 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 ding. Another point. They lead 2-0.
I like that. That's all there is to it.
All right, here's another one for Coach's team.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here it comes. B is in boy. O-G-A-T-A. B-O-G-A-T-A. Same spelling as what one of the major cities in Peru. How do they say it in Texas?
Bogota.
That's how they say it in Peru. But in Texas, it's Bogota. Bogota. All right. Back to the other team.
Top of the ninth.
Here's the next one. M-E-X-I-A. M is in Mama. M-E-X-I-A. What's your guess? I have some in-laws who lived here. Is the only reason
Mesa.
Was it?
Mesa.
That's close. I would have looked at it and thought, the Spanish pronunciation, Mejia or something like that, but that's not what they say. They say Mahea. Mahea. Is that one? These are weird. All right, here's one for the Pollard team. All right, starts with a B as in boy. B-A-L, M as in Mama, O-R-H-E-A. B-A-L-M-O-R-H-E-A.
Balmorhea.
This is the hometown. You got it. Hometown of Johnny Baeza of K-Max Sports.
Oh, wow.
I looked at it the
B.
first time, and I thought it was Balmorhea. It sounds like some sort of lower tract disorder or something. I got a bad case of Balmorhea. I won't be in to work today. Balmorhea is what they call it. All right, so a point for the Pollard gang. It is now 2-1. All right, we still got plenty of time to catch up here. Here's one. Joe Willis. I don't know if any of you guys are around. Brian might have been. For when Joe Willis was here as our head coach. Before that, as our defensive coordinator. First Black Rain defensive coordinator. He came here from a stint as a head coach in this little 2A town. And it's spelled I-R-A-A-N. I-R-A-A-N. Do you have got a guess for that? Spelled close to the country, but not quite. It's got 2 A's instead of 1.
Iran.
Iran. It looks like the name of the country. That's not it. It's named after the town founders' 2 daughters, Anne and Ira, and it's pronounced Ira Ann. Ira Ann. All right, here's one from South Texas for Coach Pollard's team. It's R-E-F, as in Foxtrot, U-G-I-O. R-E-F-U-G-I-O. I said this name wrong for years. I drive through it on the way to the coast all the time.
I can't even say it. You said
Refugio.
I'm going to give you that. That's darn close. Refugio. You said Refugio. But Refugio is close enough. We'll give the point. I look at that the first 10 years I ever read. I thought it was Refugio. So we have a tie at 2-2. A few names left. All right, here we go. This is a tough one. All right, for Cole Holland's team. Q-U-I-T-A-Q-U-E. Q-U-I-T-A-Q-U-E. I had no idea how to pronounce that.
That's already a premature horn. I'm
Josh
sorry.
is already playing the.
I've already played the wrong horn. There's no way you're getting that right.
Q-U-I-T-A-Q-U-E. What's your guess?
Kitake.
He's got it!
What?
He got it! He got it!
Oh, my God.
He got it. And they take the lead.
The premature horn was the wrong move.
Yeah. All right. Next one. Oh, this is a tough one, too. But they've got a well-known football program, so you may have heard it in those terms and might get it right. Coach Pollard's team. A-T-A-S-C-O-C-I-T-A. A-T-A-S-C-O-C-I-T-A.
Otascocita.
That's it, Atascocita.
Was there an O? Okay. Oh, my gosh.
I'm a hometown scorer who loves ties, so I gave him the first syllable as just a sound, Atascocita, Atascocita, Otascocita. All right, next one. How many of y'all were Timberwolf football fans for the 2012 season? I know you're younger. Okay, so you'll remember this name. This is actually the other team, though. 2 guys on Coach's team. But here's for Holland's team. L-A-N-C-A-S-T
Lancaster.
Oh, you sure?
Okay, L-A-N-C-A-S-T-E-R, and you said?
Lancaster.
Wrong! But I said it that way all through the broadcast of that game. I found out after the game that they call it Lancaster. Lancaster. I've said it Lancaster ever since, but I had it wrong that entire night. I didn't care. We beat them. All right, we're at a 3-3 tie. We got enough for 3 names for each team left.
Oh.
Here we are for Coach's team. K-E-R-E-N-S. K-E-R-E-N-S. What's your guess? Remember, it's never going to be what it looks like.
Kearns.
Kearns, he says, and that is correct. And Coach's team takes a 4-3 lead. All right, next one up for the Cole Holland team. And I'm glad this is Cole Holland's team and not Brian Pollard's, because it'd be unfair if he would get it. Here it is. You ready? N as in no. N-O-T-R-E-E-S. N-O-T-R-E-E-S. N-O-T-R-E-E-S.
No trees.
No trees, Texas. That's right. Just west of Odessa, where Coach Pollard
wow, I didn't
grew
even
up.
know.
So he would have known that one. All right, here's one for Coach Pollard's team.
Just like that.
And we're tied at 4-4 right now. All right, here's one for Coach Pollard's team. M is in Mama. I-A-M as in Mama again. I. M-I-A-M-I. What's your guess?
Mamai.
Ooh, I like
I
it.
thought I heard Tamara say "mommy." No, neither of those. It's obviously looks like Miami, Florida, but in Texas it's Miami. They want you to say not E. All right, Holland's team. Ready? L-E-A-K-E-Y. L-E-A-K-E-Y. Back in the hill country west of San Antonio. Frio River goes through there.
Lakey.
Lakey is correct, and they take a 5-4 lead.
Bam! Just like that. That's all there is to it, Dustin. That's all there is to it.
All right. These guys went first, so they're the home team.
2 more times?
They get 2 more turns. No, they get 2 more turns. No, you both get 2 more turns. They went first. The visiting team. Yeah, I said that wrong. So each team. Oh, you went last. Okay, so let's see. I got to look at how many names I got left. This will be the last time then.
I like it. Yeah, put all the marbles on it.
Yeah, 5-4. Coach's team is down. They went last, so they're the home team. Oh, I do got, and they're about to go now. Let me look at this. Yeah, they'll get 2 more turns. Counting this one's about to come. Cole's team will get 1 more. So here it is. Here it is. L-A-M as in mama. E-S-A. L-A-M-E-S-A. What do you
Lamisa.
get? Lamisa is correct, and we have a tie. Heard of it. 1 more for each team. Try to break the tie. If it ends in a tie, it's a tie. Here it comes for Cole Holland's team. C-H-I-L-L-I-C-O-T-H-E. C-H-I-L-L-I-C-O-T-H-E. Tough one. C-H-I.
Chillicothe.
Man, that is so close, but it's a cough, not a koth. Chillicothe is what they want you to say. All right, chance to win in the last at-bat for Coach Pollard's team. This is a tough one, too. I mean, unless you just know it, I don't know how you're going to guess it. Ready? Here it is. K-A-M-A-Y. 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 What's your guess?
Kamey.
No. That's what I would have said, too. Weirdly, it was a railroad town, and the guy who named it after Kansas and Missouri, K and M, and then his daughter was, again, like Ann or something, an A. So basically, he found some way to spell what he wanted you to say was those 3 letters, K-M-A. K-M-A. K-A-M-A-Y. That's what I said. Unless you knew it, it's almost no idea. So we end in a 5-5 tie. You both get fabulous merchandise as winners of our game today.
Yes.
And we forgot to bring it again.
Check out with Brad for all your merchandise.
But that's our game for tonight with the defensive backs, splitting them up with Coach Brian Pollard. They each did a good job. You know, we play this game, one of our shows every year. Nobody ever gets 5 of them, and you both got 5 of them. So you've done better than the other kids we brought through here. So good job on all that one. All right, we got just a few minutes before we got to sign off, but we want to talk a little bit about Cedar Ridge before we do. We don't know a lot about them from the broadcasting standpoint. They're a school district that we've never seen or broadcast before. We know they're a very large 6A school that went, 12-2 last year, something like that. 4 rounds deep in the 6A playoffs. They got a lot of talent back. They're picked second in their district, 13-6A, and they do everything well. Coach, defensively with your defensive backs, what are they going to have to look out for and do? What is the worries from your point of view we got to get solved to try to stop the offense of Cedar Ridge?
For our guys, they've got a lot of speed. They run pretty crisp routes, lots of double moves. Their quarterback gets lots of depth, so he's hard to get to. He's hard to bring down. He's a big guy. They've got the Baylor commit out wide. They've got 2 other dudes who run just as well as him, and they're just elusive, fast guys.
How are you going to decide who covers the Baylor guy, or does it just depend on lineups?
We've got a lot of confidence.
They're all raising their hands, by the way, folks.
We've got a lot of confidence in everybody, and so we're not planning on singling him up on anybody. If Combs is out there or Keon, Strider's played a lot of corner for us. It doesn't matter, but one of these 5 guys right here are going to match up with him, and we're comfortable with it.
I love that sort of matchup myself when I play because to me it was a no-lose situation. I mean, if he beat you, well, heck, the guy's going to Baylor. If you beat him, I beat a guy who's going to Baylor.
That's right.
So, yeah, I'd look for that kind of a matchup. Well, Coach, good luck. Thursday night, a rare Thursday night game. I know a short week, 1 day less in preparation, or was it 2 with Labor Day? How did y'all?
It was just 1. We brought the boys in on Monday. They worked really hard Monday, Tuesday. We have another early morning tomorrow morning to get ready for it. And so, I mean, it's just been a normal, typical Cedar Park grind. I mean, these kids just come in and get after it and put the pads on every day. We don't go shell. It's full blow, and we're just ready to go. It's another week for us.
So something Josh would have liked?
Yeah, I think that's how we always did it, though. It was never a soft shell day even right up into the game, we were doing full contact, and that's just because we were at that age where you got to crave contact if you're going to play this football game, because if you're not willing to go hit that guy for 4 quarters, you better go find another sport.
Yep. All right, that's it for our first episode of Timberwolf Night in America for 2018. The team visits the Palmer Palace Thursday night at 7 o'clock against Cedar Ridge. We'll be on the air 25 minutes before kickoff with the pregame show. Remember, next week, since it's a home game, San Angelo Central, this show will come to you live next Tuesday night from our other host venue, which, if the Austin Telco building wasn't there, we would see it from here, actually, Moton's. For our guests, the defensive backs, Strider Laster, Keon King, Caden Combs, Tamer Alzer, Cole Holland, and their coach, Brian Pollard. Our QA tonight, Les Clary. We are heard less clearly when it's not Les Clary. And for my broadcast partner now these 7 years, Josh Willard, it's Brad Cohn signing off. KMAX Sports, the Vype Network.